It's a very important, because many a times what happens, questions do come from this particular concept, Plato's concept of justice. So what is the importance of justice? Why justice is needed? What we did, what Plato did, Plato divided the society. But then why justice is needed? See, in a society, to function properly, the society needs to be benefited out of it. So the societies are ultimately built by the living people. If you want to control those people without giving anything in return, it cannot be possible, isn't it? So there has to be certain basis of justice on which the foundation of the society can be built. If there is no justice, the society is nothing but anarchy. It's nothing but anarchy. So nobody will follow the ruler if there is no justice. It's so simple concept. Okay. Now every state has to be based on some idea of justice. Some idea of justice. Because if in a society there is no justice, there won't be any state. There won't be any state. Look at India. In India, we all are, despite the fact different linguistic, different division, different religion, different values, we are staying together because we believe that there is justice. In preamble also it is written as a justice. So whatever government will make a law, so it will ensure that the justice is provided. If there is any violation of the justice, then there is judiciary who will ensure the justice. So people have faith on it. So if there is a state where there is no justice, nobody will stay within the state, which means there is no state. So in order to make Athens an ideal state, there has to be justice. Okay. Now the most important fact is the Republic, the book which Plato has written, the Republic. The subtitle of the book is Concerning Justice. The title of the book is Republic and the subtitle of the book is Concerning Justice. Again, why Plato wanted this justice? Because Plato wanted to make Athens an ideal state, bring back the glory, and to bring back the glory, the Athens needs to be based on the system of justice. Okay. Now here let us understand how Plato is, it is a very interesting concept, how Plato is giving the concept of justice. Ultimately, we have to understand what is Plato's theory of justice. But Plato has not given the theory all of a sudden. Plato has given the theory of justice after lot of what? Debate and discussion or dialogue or dialectics. Because the work of the Plato is based on debate and discussion. Is it clear, all of you? Those who are watching online? Namrata, Raspita, rest of the students? Are you understanding? Alright. So let us understand how Plato is coming to his own idea of justice. Interestingly, what happens? Plato is adopting a dialectical method. Like we came to know that Plato has given the concepts of forms, the concept of cave, where he is also discussing with a Glaucon. Now here, in order to give the concept of justice, he is discussing with different persons. And who are the persons? One, Cephalus, Polemarchus, Thrasymachus, and Glaucon. Glaucon, already I have discussed the concept of cave. Okay, what is the idea? Is the reality is the set of idea, and other people argue no, the idea is real, isn't it? Reality is the set of ideas, what Plato is saying, because he is discussing with Glaucon. And another part, people are saying that idea is real. The most modern like Hegel is saying idea is real. Okay. Now let us understand Plato's methodology. Plato is trying to discuss with these four persons, and after discussion of the four persons, he is coming his own theory of justice, because he did not know what is justice. So in order to understand what is justice, he is discussing with Cephalus. Let us understand what exactly was the discussion. Now with Cephalus, who is Cephalus? He is an old man. So Plato comes and asks to Cephalus, Cephalus, please tell me, according to you, what is justice? According to you, what is justice? So Cephalus says that, okay, according to me, justice means paying the dues and doing the duties. Okay, so try to understand what is the conversation. Conversation is between Plato and Cephalus. Plato is trying to write his own theory of justice, and in order to write his own theory of justice, he is asking questions to Cephalus. Cephalus, please tell me, he is an old man, that means we have to understand he is a very classical thoughts, very conventional thoughts. When Plato asked to Cephalus, what is justice according to you? So Cephalus replies that justice to me is paying the dues and doing the duties. If one person will pay the dues and if one person will do their duties, that is the meaning of justice. Please understand, it has deeper meaning. When you talk about paying the dues, what does it mean by? What does it mean by? What is the meaning of paying the dues? Generally, if you go by the English word of paying the dues, it means, let's say you have taken money from someone and you have to repay back. But that is not the case here. That is not the case here. Paying the dues means what? Try to understand. Paying the dues means here, Cephalus is trying to explain, let's say somebody has helped you in some sort of time and you have to repay back by helping them in terms of money or in terms of the as an individual present. So that is the meaning of paying the dues. In our mythological, basically there is no currency concepts. So paying the due means somebody has taken help, let's say you have taken help from someone, means you have to repay back. If somebody has helped at some point of time and that same person when in need, if you say that I don't want to help, that is not the thing. That is not justice. Justice is when somebody has helped you and you help them back. So that is called as paying the dues. So is the case for doing the duties. Doing the duties. Okay. What is the doing the duties? Doing the duties means, as an individual, what is your duty towards family? What is your duty towards the state? What is your duty towards the society? What is your duty as an individual? If you are a teacher, what is your duty towards the student? And vice versa. If a student, what is the duty towards the teacher or maybe the society, maybe the family or the state, etc. That is called as doing the duties. So according to Cephalus, the meaning of justice is paying the dues and doing the duties. Let's say once Cephalus has replied, Plato is commenting what Cephalus has replied. Plato is saying, yes, this is a very good concept. Justice means performance of duty, but he puts further question as to what does paying the one's dues means. I have already explained the question already. So here Plato could not understand. Like any of the beginner will say that paying the dues means what? Normally people will say somebody has taken money and they have to give them back. So Plato is asking, what do you mean by paying the duties? Now during that time Cephalus was no more because he was an old man. So there comes Polemarchus. Who is Polemarchus? Polemarchus is son of Cephalus. So he basically carry forwards the discussion. Cephalus, then Polemarchus comes into picture because Plato has asked the question to Cephalus, he has not replied. Then comes the Polemarchus, the son of Cephalus, and he says that his father's point of view, he is explaining his father's point of view, says that paying your due means when somebody has helped you, you have to help. But at the same time, if somebody has made an enemy to you, you also need to make enemy to that person. If somebody has done bad thing to you, you also need to do the same bad thing to the other person. That means here the Polemarchus, because he is young person, he explains the paying the dues means not only doing the good things to each other, but also the revenge. Okay, but also the revenge. So that is the meaning of paying your dues. So dues in terms of positive also as well as negative also. So what does Plato say after hearing from Polemarchus? Plato is saying that yes, it is not always possible to identify who is your friend and who is your enemy. How can you always identify? It's not always possible. You know, some people who are very close to you, after some day it may happen or the situation may compel, they become enemy, or the vice versa. Some people are enemy currently, but after maybe some years they become good friends. So there is no clear cut direct formula where you can identify who is your friend and who is your enemy. So that means this concept cannot work. This concept cannot work. Okay. So harmony cannot be the principle, or that means when we talking, the Polemarchus has said that if somebody has done bad things to you, you also need to do reciprocately bad to the other person. So Plato is saying that no, that cannot be correct. If somebody has done good thing to you, you reply them with a good thing or good deeds, that is understand as justice. But if somebody has scolded you, if somebody has done something bad to you, will you do the same thing to the other person? If that is the concept, that means you are harming someone, then the harming someone cannot be the principle of justice. So Plato here is rejecting the paying the dues. There are two things Polemarchus said, good dues and bad dues, but Plato is rejecting the bad dues. At the same time, there comes Stramasius. He says that he is a sophist. Already we came to know who is a sophist. You know, yes, those who always teach to the students, go for self-interest, go for money, and go for power. And that means pre-Socratic era. So Thrasymachus, he is saying that he says justice is the interest of stronger, which always means might is right. Okay, what is he saying? He is saying jungle's rule. Who is might is always right. Now Plato is replying. No, that is not true. If you Plato contradicting with the position, and he says that we cannot, this is a jungle rule, that means this is a law of nature. In a jungle, what happens? The fittest of the survival, means who is the mightier will always be the rightest person. Mighty is the always rightest person. So that is a jungle rule, means natural law. So Plato says that no, it cannot be possible. We cannot apply the same principle in a human being society. So he is rejecting what Thrasymachus has said about the concept of justice. Okay, the concept of justice. Now let us understand, it cannot be based, he has already said, in our social organization it cannot be based on that. Next and last person with whom Plato has discussed is Glaucon. Plato has discussed is Glaucon. Glaucon says, when Plato has asked to Glaucon, tell me, according to you, what is justice? So Glaucon is replying, justice means interest of the weak. Justice means interest of the weak. Okay, basically this concept, Glaucon's theory, which is also known as contractual theory, where according to which the state is created by the people who are unable to protect themselves. The state is created by the people who are unable to protect. It's like a hafta basuli. So you pay me something, I will protect you, I will give protection to you. So that is the concept of Glaucon. What Glaucon is talking about, the theory of contractual theory. What does Plato says? Plato says no, it is wrong. It is wrong to consider that the use of the state is only for the weak person. The use of the state are also, the elite person needs state, the strong person also needs state. What Glaucon is saying, why do you need a state? You need a state because you cannot protect to yourself. You need someone so that they can protect you. But Plato says that no, state is needed not only for the weak person but also for everyone. Okay, that is what everyone requires the state, and justice is the concern of everyone. It is, justice is not limited to only marginalized section of the society or only the poor section of our society. So what we did, we understood all the four conversation, Cephalus, Polemarchus, Thrasymachus, then we have understood Glaucon also. Okay, now all of these four persons, Plato has doing the dialectics. Now he came to a conclusion on his own idea of justice. After listening to all the points, now he has said what is Plato's ideas of justice. Plato says that according to me, after having a long discussion with all these people over a long period of time, he says that according to me, justice means do your duty. This concept he is bringing from Cephalus, because Cephalus says that doing your duty. And he also says that justice is a source of virtue rather than evil. This concept is also coming from what Cephalus has done, followed by explanation by his son Polemarchus. But Plato has rejected the Polemarchus' one point of view of paying your dues. He says that when somebody has done good thing, you return them back. That is a good approach of paying your dues, but it cannot be based on harm principle. So he says justice is a source of virtue and justice cannot be evil. In the name of revenge, you cannot take justice. That cannot be based on justice. Okay. Next, justice is needed to maintain harmony in the society. Justice, according to Plato, what justice is saying? It is needed to maintain harmony in the society. It is not only for the weak people but for everyone. And finally says, everyone requires justice and the state. Everyone requires justice and the state. So, let us understand in a nutshell summary, what is Plato's idea of justice? He says four most important things. Number one is justice is do your duty, that is justice. Second point is justice is it has to be a source of virtue and cannot be based on harm principle, it cannot be evil. Third point is justice is needed to maintain harmony in the society, and justice is for everyone. That means everyone requires state and everyone requires justice. So now we have completed the concept of justice. Normally what happens, what kind of questions will come? They will directly ask you, discuss Plato's theory of justice. Okay, write down an assignment, all of you, please write down assignment. Question is discuss Plato's theory of justice. 150 words, 10 mark. Discuss Plato's theory of justice, 150 words, 10 mark.